Welcome. Look, we're on television.
Oh, wow,
Welcome to the GJS studio for this special Creating Christmas Magic live event, the 2022 edition. So it's great to see, well, not actually see you, but have you seeing us, all our valued customers out there that have joined us today. We've got a lot to look forward to through this session. We've got a lot of new products to show you. My name's Ian Stone.
And I'm Frank.
And like I said, thanks for joining us. Now, we expect this to go for about an hour this afternoon. Okay, we're going to show you a lot of new products, present them to you and how to use them. We're going to go through a lot of different print processes to actually create some of these awesome Christmas ideas for you to present to your customers and hopefully make a profit through them. So first of all, just a little bit of housekeeping before we get kicked off. And Frankie's going to take us through that housekeeping.
So thank you all for joining us today and giving us an hour of your time, which this should roughly go for. The live event that you've just joined, you'll be on mute. So any questions that you have, just direct them to the Q&A section and we should see them and be able to answer them as we go. There'll also be a main section at the end for any of the larger questions or anything relevant that we need to answer. And the recording of this event will also be made into a link that will be emailed to you after the event. So if you couldn't make it today, you'll be seeing us later for sure.
So again, thanks for joining us. Now, just to give you a little bit of agenda that we're going to run through for you today, we're going to have a look at, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, they do Christmas sweaters, but in Australia, where it's a much hotter climate, we do Christmas t-shirts. As you can see, myself and Frankie are in the Christmas spirit. These shirts have been printed by DTG directly onto the garments.
Yep.
But we're about to show you a couple of other ways that you can actually produce t-shirts in that Christmas spirit live that you can offer to your customers. Now, the first one that we're going to go through today, Frank, is DTF.
A DTF.
So as I mentioned, these ones are DTG printed shirts. Okay, so standardly the DTG printer produces a print directly onto the shirt.
Straight
so
on.
We put the shirt into the DTG machine, it slides in, prints the ink directly down onto the shirt, all right? And then we heat press it to seal to the shirt. The method we're about to show you is a brand new method that we've released through GJS for our DTG printers. So it's called DTF, or direct to film. So instead of printing directly to the t-shirt, we actually print directly to a film. So as you can see here, we've put that film into the DTG printer. Okay, it's like I said, it's brand new technology. You can get all this through our GJS website now if you have a DTG printer. All right, so we've produced this and then put a powder over the backing and then heat sealed it in either a DTF oven, which we offer online, or underneath the heat press. And then once we've done that, we can use our heat press to actually apply it to the garment. Okay, so it's a really quick and easy application. It's 150 degrees for about 15-second pressing time. And once we've pressed it for that amount of time, it's bonded to the shirt. All right, now, this is a hot peel option, all right, which speeds up production as well. So as soon as Frankie finishes pressing this, we'll release it, take the covering sheet off and peel it off instantly, like so. So now once we've done that, we are going to put a piece of baking paper back over the top of it. Just give it a second press. This is for two things. A, it helps push it further into the shirt. And B, it also mattes off the surface, which gives it a nice feel and a nice look as well on top. It's only for a couple of seconds. And once that's done, we have at least a $35 shirt.
Ian, for you, I'd say 50.
50 bucks? Okay, so I'd actually pay that for that. It's pretty cool.
So not
I'm sure you can see how high quality that is. And as I mentioned, that's printed on the DTG printers using our special DTF film. And then heat pressed straight across to the garment. Looks fantastic, mate.
Awesome shirt.
Great job. So that's, other than DTG that I just talked about, which are our shirts that you can see here, that's a DTF option to actually DTF it to the shirt. Now we're going to go through a different shirt.
Yes, indeed.
Number 3. And this DTG primarily is an option, a print option for natural fibres.
Yep.
All right, so the natural fibres, cotton, calico, canvas, denim, linen, all those natural fibres work with DTG. DTF spans both the synthetics, the polyesters and the blends, and across into the cotton, t-shirts and natural fibres as well. Then what we're going to do next is a dye sublimation. Okay, so dye sublimation works with 100% polyester garments. So we're actually using one of our brand new products as well, which you'll see here Frankie's got in his hand. So these are pre-printed dye sublimation sheets. So they're actually, if you don't have a dye sublimation printer, you can get these and use your heat press. All we need to use is a cutter. All right, so we can either use, for example, Brother Scan and Cut that you'll find on our website, or if you've a Roland GX24, for example, GS24, and all we need to do is cut this. And then once it's cut, we're going to weed out the excess just like normal vinyl, and then we can use our heat press set up for dye sublimation to dye sub directly to 100% polyester garments. Now, dye sublimation works with light coloured or white, preferably t-shirts, Frankie.
Yep.
And we've got one on the heat press here that you're about to use.
Ready to go. So the film that we're using today, it was a pre-printed. It was cut on a Brother scan and cut machine. So directed at the craft market. Very, very simple to weed. So anyone who's done any vinyl or anything before will know that weeding can be a hassle. I'll assure you, you won't have the same problems with this.
It is actually very easy to weed. And even the shirt that we're using here too is a new product as well, Frankie.
Yeah, this is our new 100% polyester Gildan brand t-shirt. So it's our new range, just came out. Perfect for doing dye sublimation. The finish just looks perfect, and 100% polyester, highest quality.
It's ring spun polyester as well. So that ring spun polyester, 100% ring spun polyester actually feels like cotton.
That's why it feels so good.
Yeah, when you wear it, it just feels like you're wearing a cotton shirt, not like the standard old polyester t-shirts. So again, check out online, GJS.co, go into our dye sublimation products, and you'll find the new Gildan 100% ring spun polyester garments in there. Great shirt, like I said, they wear really well and feel great on. So we've got this set up for dye sublimation, as I mentioned, so it's 200 degrees. We press these for about 50 or 60 seconds, all right? And as you can see, once it's been pressed, Frankie will release it. Take it off the press so we can see it. Remove the cover sheet. Peel back the dye sublimation, and there we go. Another fantastic dye sublimation t-shirt in that Christmas theme. You'll see the actual pattern in the print as well. We've used this one specifically for Christmas. Obviously, it has that perfect colour in a tartan pattern. And all we did, like Frankie mentioned, was cut and weed that existing sheet, so you don't need a dye sublimation printer. All you need is a cutter, and then we can produce high quality garments just like that one.
This was the Christmas gift wrapping pattern.
There you go. And I believe Frankie's going to actually wear that out tonight, he's told me.
Yes, absolutely.
So I can't buy that one off him, unfortunately. All right, so that's your dye sublimation to create t-shirts. Now we're going to do a fourth style of t-shirt as well.
Yep, we've got one more to go.
Now we're going to do this onto a dark coloured t-shirt as well. So you notice with the dye sublimation, there is no white ink. Okay, so we need to use those white or light coloured garments to print across to. With DTG and DTF, obviously, we have a white ink, so we can print down onto dark coloured t-shirts. This option we're about to show you, which is used with an Oki Pro Series, a Pro 8 Series, 8432WT, and this actually has a white toner in it as well. So we have it sitting up the front here. We've already taken the liberty of printing out this artwork as well, and we've pressed the A film once we've printed it with the B paper, applying the glue to it so it's ready to go onto the t-shirt. Now we'll swap sides again here, Frankie. I'll let you across to the heat press. And we've got another black shirt to load up here. Now this process, as I mentioned, there's a few steps to it. All right, but it's a lower investment point. It's probably the lowest investment point option for when you're wanting to go onto dark garments, to be able to use a white toner to print it down. So again, we just place it onto the garment. This time we're going to press this for around about 30 or 35 seconds. So Frankie's going to quickly adjust the Geonite DK20S swing away heat press, and then he'll press it a lot of time. Now, what it's doing is that glue paper that we've applied to it is at the moment heating up and bonding to the garment. So once we've actually pressed it, we'll remove it from the heat press, and we'll then put it down onto the table, all right, and we'll let it cool slightly. So during that cooling process, we can obviously be loading up another t-shirt onto the press and heat pressing that one as well. But we just needed to cool slightly so that glue that we've applied with the bead paper actually bonds to the garment. So that's finished now. Take that off, and as I mentioned, we'll let it cool. All right, so we're just going to put that down. It only takes a couple of seconds, a few seconds for it to actually cool down enough for us to be able to peel it. Now, when we peel this, we need to wet it right back on itself. You'll see the process that Frankie uses once it cools. You'll see now that he's actually feeling it, just to make sure that it is cooling down and that it has cooled down enough for us to be able to peel it back on itself. So you'll see now, Frankie will roll it back on itself. All right, and it will leave the image coming off the film and onto the t-shirt. Very simply. Now this one also requires a second press, just like the DTF. All right, and all it is to do is to, again, press the image further into the shirt. You might see a slight shine on it at the moment as well. This also removes that shine and gives it a more matte look on the surface, which is a better look for t-shirts. So this is only a couple of second press. That's all it is, about 5 seconds. Once that's done, we can lift it off and we have a finished product. There it is again, fantastic. And it's not magic, there was no tricks there. That was actually transferred directly across to the shirt live. And you can see the results that we can get onto it. Again, a nice Christmas theme. All right, now you might notice that there's a little breakup that we put into this as well. This is via the RIP software that's required with the printer to actually put this breakup into it, Frankie, and that's to allow it to stretch as well on the shirt and to last longer in the wash. So
you'll see the stretchability there, and it just springs back into position like it hasn't even moved.
That's right. It increases the washability and adds to the stretch as well.
Yep.
So the artwork package that we require.
Transfer rip.
It's called transfer rip. That's correct. Transfer. Yeah. So it's the forever transfer rip. It's to use that forever transfer system. We need to use that rip software. So we package that with the Oki Pro Series 8 printer to be able to create that artwork perfectly to go down onto the shirts for us. Right. So that's our shirts. As you can see, we've Christmas themed those. That's the type of thing that you can be offering to your customers with these simple print options. Now, again, as we mentioned earlier, there's going to be an email going out after this. In that email, there will be links back to all of these different types of processes, print processes, and also links to the artwork that's required, the artwork programs and the RIP softwares that are required as well. All right, so those 4 that we just mentioned, DTF, dye sublimation, DTG, the laser transfer system.
Forever system, yep.
You'll all see those in the link in the email post if you're interested in being able to achieve those print options. You'll see in the links how to actually do it. So that's all of our shirts.
Shirts are done.
Gretchy, exactly right, mate. Now, have you started to heat up after doing that? I have. I'm getting a little bit hot. Exactly right. So no time like the present to actually cool down. I'd actually love a beer right now. So the next thing we're going to talk about is
stubby
coolers. Exactly right. So one type of stubby cooler. Now it's summer, so it's heating up. Always great at a Christmas party and always comes out this time of year. So you can offer to your customers some Christmas themed stubby coolers for them to use at their Christmas parties. All right, so this one is what's called a pre-stitched stubby cooler.
Yeah, so the pre-stitched, it comes basically as you see it, but it's just a white product. So that you can put whatever print you want on there using a mug press, either the TP100 or our GJS mug press. They'll both work with this model.
Exactly right. And it's produced a fantastic stubby cooler.
Perfect print.
Looks awesome. There's a fully printed one. How did we get the full print on that one, Frankie?
So these fully print area, the full print area that's covered here, this one comes as a flat sheet. So this area here is flat and there's a round insert in the bottom that gets glued in. So it comes in 2 pieces. You press with dye sublimation while it's flat and then roll it around the bottom piece and glue it all together. Yeah,
so there is a bit of production involved with those ones.
Definitely.
But we're able to get the full cover on that style. That's fantastic. Another one, and I've fantastically put it on upside down, but it's a Velcro style, so it's easy to remove and actually put back on the right way as well. All right, so these ones, again, we use a flat press for these, Frankie.
Yeah, these ones, very simple, flat press, dye sublimation, similar to the full size one there. You just have to be careful of the The Velcro on there, you don't want to press that. If any of you look to offer these to your customers, make sure you don't press this part of the Velcro, but otherwise very easy to do and a great product, easy to remove, quick to change if you're getting through your drinks quickly.
And again, all of these products are available on the GJS website under the dye sublimation products. Jump in there and you'll be able to find them very easily. Now, I know Frankie wants to do this one. It is his favourite stubby cooler.
This is my favourite stubby cooler. So this is our snap-on stubby cooler. So quick and easy to change.
How simple is that?
Absolutely love it. So I've used these before myself. They come up really well, and just trying to get them on and off, very, very simple. It's like the old wristbands we used to have. Straight off, get a new drink, slap it on.
Nice and flat. They are great, and they're done in the flat press as well.
Yep.
So you don't need a mug press to do those ones.
Not at all.
Awesome. Now, this is probably my favourite one.
Yeah, this is your favourite.
All right, so these are the collapsible ones. Okay, now they're a fantastic stubby cooler. We're going to actually produce one for you, show you how it's done. So Frankie's going to get it set up on the heat press. Again, this is using dye sublimation. These products are neoprene, so they have a full white neoprene, which is a polymer coating on them, or a polyester outer, so we can dye sublimate to them. So we've already dye sublimated one side of this one, and we're just going to do the second side now to cover it, to make it a fully functional stubby cooler. Now, the reason I like these ones the best is because they sit flat, but open up to take your drink. All right, so when they're on your drink, they're fully round, but then when they come off, they go dead flat. Now, the reason I like them so much is going to the races, going out to a Christmas function. If you are, or your customers are giving people a round stubby cooler, sometimes these ones are hard to take home with you. You leave them sitting on the table, things like that. Whereas these flatter ones, when they collapse down to flat, perfect size for your pocket. So you can put them in your pocket, and I guarantee you I've got more of these ones at home that I've been given while I've been out at Christmas functions, rather than these ones where I actually leave them behind sometimes. So at least you can offer that style to your customer, and I'm taking that one home with me to use tonight, actually. So again, Frankie's doing the second side now. We've already done the first side. We find you get the best results if you do them separate sided. Okay, you can actually make them in one artwork and press them both together. It takes a little bit longer in the heat press, but we get a great result with doing it this way as well. So Frankie's pressing the second side of this one.
Yep.
It's in the press at the moment, dye sublimation setup, 200 degrees. We press it for around about 50 seconds, being neoprene. And when it's finished, it's going to come out a fully formed stubby cooler. And there it is, finished. And there it is. Take the tape off, and it is hot.
It's quite hot.
Yeah, it does get to 200 degrees in there, so you need to be careful.
And now you can see both sides of it, all nice and perfect. So we had the one side pre-pressed, and there it comes out.
And you know that one for your pocket, mate.
Are you sure you don't want another?
No, it's okay. I'll put one, mate. That'll do my bid tonight. That's perfect.
I'll take it.
Beautiful. All right, so that's the stubby coolers. That's to keep your beers and your smaller drinks warm.
Yep.
Warm. Cold. We're not in England. Exactly right. So to keep them cool, stubby coolers, they're called. So they're all the different types that you'll find, as I mentioned, on the GJS website, gjs.co, under the dye sublimation products. All right, now that's keeping the beer cold. I am partial to a wine every now and then as well, Gretchen.
Are you a white or a red?
I go both ways, mate. So
because that's so.
I do. It depends on the mood. Right. Exactly right, and what I'm eating it with.
Okay.
So we've got an actual wine bottle cooler as well. So that's the single bottle option. And if you do prefer a white and a red, or maybe you're just a thirsty person and you want two, we have the double-sized ones as well. And quite easily, it is a festive season for Christmas, so you can offer your customers some nice Christmas-themed artwork for them to take to their Christmas parties with bottles of wine in them. And that one is a nice red. Yep. All right, so we'll be drinking that one, celebrating after we finished here today, Richie, definitely.
I'm in.
We'll be filling up our dye sublimation wine goblet with some nice red wine to have a little drink.
A little drink.
So yeah, not only have we got it for stubbies, for the smaller drinks, we've got it for the bigger ones too. And again, you'll find those online. So don't hesitate to jump on and have a look for them. A great product, really good product. A lot of profit margin in these too. Yep. As well, Gretchen. We make them for a really low price, and you'll see these online for up to $45 each. And you can produce them for well under half of that.
It's coming into the right time of the year to be able to get them out to your customers, and
that's exactly right.
All their festive needs.
That's right. So that's all of our drinks covered. All right. So the next thing we're going to cover is what usually happens when you're too drunk, you produce kids. All right. So after you've produced the kids, we need to actually dress them in some nice Christmas garb as well. So we've got a few options here for you that you can offer to your customers in that baby range. All right. So the first one that we're going to have a look at is a baby onesie. Now you might have just noticed while I was talking then, Frank's actually replaced the bottom platen on the heat press on the DC16. So the DC16 is really multifunctional. We can take off that bigger bottom platen and put on a smaller one so we can isolate the print area that we're pressing to. If we use that bigger platen now to press this one, the seams of the product would be up on top and we'd be pressing those seams so we wouldn't get a dead contact with the onesie itself. And we'd also deform and mark the seams on the product. So by simply changing over this bottom platen, we're reducing that press area or isolating the decoration area. So we're only heat pressing that perfect section of it.
Now, when you guys go to press these, it's best to use the Frankie flip method, as I call it. So I've taped only one edge of the paper to the actual product so that keeps it stable while we're pressing. And when we lift the heat press up at the end, the paper doesn't move or shift and create any ghosting. And it also allows us to easily lift it up out of the way at the end of the press.
So Frankie's going to press this again. We're going to set up for die sub, so it's at that 200 degrees. We're going to do it for about 50 seconds as well. All right, but even we have these again online, these onesies. We're about to do a bib as well that you can see up here. All right, so those products are available online, but they're under the dye sublimation section, but it's not only dye sublimation that you can use with them.
No, you can use every other print method that you've seen onto the t-shirts already today. They will all work with both of these products. Is
exactly
that right?
Right. Even cut vinyl as well, mate. We can
cut vinyl. Yep.
We can apply to those. So just because they're under dye sublimation products, they are 100% polyester, but we can use those other print options as well, like DTF or heat transfer vinyl.
They're very
or the forever system as well.
They're very versatile.
They are. That's exactly right. So you're not just restricted to doing dye sublimation on them. And they're a really nice feeling product too. These are also that ring spun style of polyester, so they're not that genuine old feel of polyester, which sometimes is a bit yucky. I don't like. All right, there's that nice feel as well. So they actually feel good on your kids as well. And you'll see Frankie now, he's finished that press. We're going to take that off.
My fingers in the meantime.
And always be careful because it is.
Get the phone.
All right. And there we can see
Wait for you.
A fantastic onesie for your customers' children. All right, so think of my first Christmas style things with this style of onesie, and you see that the artwork and how it goes on looks fantastic. Comes up really well. Just with your dye sublimation printer, that's all you need. All right, so as I mentioned, now we've done the onesie. We're about to move across and do a bib. All right, so again, you'll see that's a totally blank bib. We've got the dye sublimation printout Frankie's got there. He's going to use his patented Frankie flip method of just putting it down on one side, and then we'll press it. So again, this is set up for that 200 degrees.
Yep,
for around about 50 seconds. Yep. So it's the same process as the previous ones. All right, and even though, like I said, again, we're using that smaller platen as well, Frankie. That's to isolate that press area. And again,
Ian, while we're there, we've just got a customer's question.
Fantastic.
So how do you stop the paper making a line embedded into the onesies?
Yeah, no, totally understand. That's a really good question. There's a couple of ways to actually stop that from happening. You might have seen there was a little line on that one there. Generally, the ring spun polyester products remove themselves, that mark removes itself a little bit more readily than it does on the full 100% polyester old style. But you can also use things like Teflon pillows. Those Teflon pillows go underneath and they restrict the amount of pressure that we can put onto it. All right, and that will stop some of those marks as well. Another way to do it is by, instead of cutting hard the outside of the product, so you'll see here, again, that one's dye sublimated across onto the bib. Now, going back to the question that was asked to stop the edges, what you can also do to restrict this a little bit, but this will fluff up a bit when you wash it again as well, because it's this style, the ring spun style. But you can also, instead of cutting the edges, you can tear the edges. So if you tear in between each piece, all right, it creates a feathered edge, which isn't dead straight and hard, and that will help that hard line being formed as well. And the Teflon pillow, do both, even better.
Yep.
So that's the bib.
That looks quite good.
Again, like I said, great for kids. Obviously, there's a lot of children out there, so a great market. Yeah, and Frankie's actually got it on. This isn't, we sell these in a couple of different colours as well. So they come in a pink, like you can see here, or a light blue as well, or they come in a white outer too. So Frankie actually wears the white one quite often.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a messy eater, unfortunately. So at lunchtime, sitting upstairs, you'll see him wearing a bib when he's digging into his lunch. So there's those 3 different colours. Don't forget online as well. Again, jump online and have a look at those. We have a lot of other kids products on there too. So we're just showing you a couple of ideas that you can present to your customers for children. All right, and that's 2 of our most popular ones right there, Frankie.
Yep.
Our onesies and our bibs. Now, the next thing that we're going to present to you is probably one of our most popular products on our website. Okay, we offer over 35 different types of mugs, glasses, and drink bottles that you can produce in a Christmas theme to offer to your customers. All right, now we're going to talk about a few other new items that we brought on board. All right, and the first one that we're going to talk about is a brand new, first of all, heat press. So this is the new TP100. Okay, you might have seen a recent video that we've done on this. This one actually comes with 10 different elements. All right, that's 10 elements. So traditionally, with the older style, they only come with 6 or lower elements, or just 1. All right, but with the amount of different mugs, drinking vessels, sports drink bottles, etc., that we can offer today, stemless wine glasses. All right, this one comes with an element for everything, basically. So all of the ones that we offer online, you can produce in this fantastic TP100 heat press. So we're going to produce for you right now a standard 11-ounce mug, which is our most popular mug. All right, and this one we're going to use a brand new product again, which is we showed you a little bit earlier, which is the pre-printed dye sublimation sheets that you can purchase from GJS. They come in a box of multiple different colors. This is a different one that we're using.
Yes, this is a flannel pattern.
A flannel, yeah, fantastic.
Flannel pattern.
All right, and we've cut this one and weeded it out, and we're going to press across onto a mug. All right, so Frankie's going to put it on the standard 11-ounce mug, and we'll put it into the heat press for the set amount of time and temperature. So Frankie will show you, it actually comes with a backing that has lines on it.
So the backing paper here, you can see it has lines on it. So the backing paper is part of the image. We'll try to get a close up now of that on our mobile camera. So you can see the backing paper has some lines. So you can use that to line up the image with the mug and make sure you're not putting it on crooked. So this one here we're doing is going to be a full coverage. So you can see there I've gone a little bit crooked, I can tell by the lines. So I'm just going to straighten that up. Obviously gone a little bit cross-eyed. And then once you get it straight, you can just wrap it whole way around and it actually sticks itself to it. So there's less need for any of the heat resistant tape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Teflon tape.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to put that into the heat press. We're going to press that for the correct amount of time, which you'll find from GJS if you purchase these from us. All right, so that's gone in there to start the pressing process.
Yep.
All right. Now, as I mentioned, that's an 11-ounce mug. All right, so what we're going to do next is another brand new product.
Yes.
So this one's really cool, actually. We've been playing around with this for the last couple of days in-house, and it's what's called a color change or heat activated vinyl. All right, so these come in packets of all different colors. All right, and one will go a different color when it gets hot, and the other one will go a different color when it gets cold. All right, so we're going to apply these, which is really simply, all we've done is, it's a vinyl. We've cut out our design. We've then weeded out all the excess. Frankie's now going to remove it from the backing and just leave the application tape on there.
He's going to attempt to.
He's going to attempt to do that. It does get a little bit difficult if you haven't got it cut perfectly at the start.
Haven't got any nails.
Exactly right. Yeah. Frankie does chew his nails, but he's got the corner there now. Perfect.
Good.
A weeding hook helps with that as well. Makes it easier. All right, so that's just removing it off the film itself. All right, and now we're going to apply it. And this is the one that will change under heat. All right, so he's putting it onto a enamel mug. All right, we're going to put some hot water in a minute and show you exactly how that changes color. All right.
When you apply this, you just need a squeegee vinyl applicator and just press down and make sure you get a nice contact the whole way around. Now I put the middle down first and made contact with the middle of the image just so I could keep it nice and square with the mug, and just give it a nice rub on there. Make sure it's all stuck on nice and tight, and then peel it off. Again, my nails are giving me some trouble here. There we go, look at that. We'll get the bottom bit.
All right, that leaves behind your artwork design on the actual mug itself. All right, so as I mentioned, that's the one that goes from warming up and actually changing color when it gets hotter.
Yep.
Okay, the other one that we've got, we're going to put this onto a mason jar. All right, is the one that actually changes color when it gets cool. All right, so Frankie's just taking the backing off that one. We're going to apply it. Again, he will apply the middle first.
Let's get it nice and square.
All right.
Make contact with the middle. Brush it down on each side. Make sure you rub it on there. If you've got any fine detail, you want to make sure you give it a really good rub just so it all sticks on properly. The backing paper that we use to apply it is very sticky, so you have to make sure that you've got really good contact there on any of the fine detail that we can see in the image.
Once that's done, we can remove that one as well. And there it is, leaving the artwork behind. Now, this actually really bonds well to the product as well. So you'll notice that's our TP100 going off there, saying that that dye sublimation mug's ready. So we'll come back to those ones in a second. But once that dye sublimation one's done, we'll take it off.
Oh, it's hot.
It is hot. And our final
Very, very hot
image with some nice reindeers on there.
So you can see the reverse effect of it.
That's exactly right. And there's one of each.
Yep. So that's that one.
Beautiful. Well done, Frankie.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now we're going to go back to these ones. Now, the first thing we're going to do actually is we're going to talk about, before we show you how these ones actually work, we're going to go across to another new product. Okay, so a lot of new stuff coming your way you can be offering to your customers. So this one's called a gradient frosted beer stein. Okay, and as you can see, it's got a set color on the bottom of it already for us. All right, so we've chosen the red one. There's a lot of other colors if you jump online and have a look. This is the red one. We're going to use that for a Christmas theme, and we've got a dye sublimation print here that Frankie's going to put onto it. All right, so we're going to take this one on, and we're going to start it off in the heat press again as well. So being ceramic as the earlier one, and this one being glass, all right, they do take a little bit of time to press. So we're going to actually press this one live as well.
Yep.
And we'll open that up, reset the heat press. When Frankie can see the front of it, which makes it a lot easier. We're just going to set this to the correct time to do the glass. All right, when he's got that set up, now a question from a customer. Do you need to clean the glass or mugs with a cleaner before applying the vinyl? Best to, yes, 100%. Now, usually they come straight out of the box, they're fine. But if they've been sitting around, maybe open, and you've had your hands on them, you get some oil or grease on your hands, you put it across onto the product, then yes, that will affect the adherence and how well it sticks to it. So best to wipe it off with an alcohol. A lint-free rag with a bit of alcohol on it will do an awesome job of cleaning that off for you as well. So we've got now that one in the heat press and pressing, all right, which is the coloured or gradient frosted beer stein.
Yes, it's quite a tongue twister.
It is, my word. Now we're going to go back to these fantastic new colour change products. All right. Now, look, these actually go in the dishwasher fine too. All right. We've tested them. They go in dishwasher. They last a long time in there as well. So the first one we're going to do is the one that goes hot. So we've got some hot water here that you see Frankie's pouring in. All right. And you'll see as he does, how cool is that? We said it was a Christmas magic show. And you'll see that and how well it changes. And if you keep topping it up, you'll see it moves further up as well. Which is pretty cool, eh?
That's awesome. They're my new favourite product, them ones.
Yeah, exactly right. And those, even those enamel mugs too, they're a fantastic product. Use them camping, do all the time, and they are an amazing little product. So now this is the cold one. So Frankie's got some ice water here that we're going to pour into this one. Now, the hot water reacts very quickly. With the colder water, it just takes a little bit longer to change, but you'll see it now starting to change at the bottom, and it'll work its way up. So it's going from that pink color to a cool purple. Again, magic.
Absolutely.
Absolute Christmas magic.
And the best thing about this is if someone across the room is watching and sees the color changing on the way back down, they know your drink's getting empty and they can come give you a refill.
You're always thinking about your refill, Frankie.
That's it.
My word, mate. Smart boy. All right, so as I mentioned, it's a new product. That's our color change vinyl.
Yep.
All right, and on two fantastic options for our mugs as well that you'll find on our website, the mason jar and the enamel mug. Actually, I'm going to be thirsty, mate. Thanks for that. Nice cold drink.
Help yourself, mate. Help yourself.
Don't mind if I do. Okay, Frankie, we've got another question, mate.
Another question. Do you know why, when I'm using my heat press, why there is a color variance after pressing? One side is lighter than the other. I was using polyester tote bag. What am I doing wrong? Really
good question. Awesome question. Now, there'd be a couple of things that you'd need to check out on your actual heat press, not knowing what type of heat press it is. That'd be the first thing that we'd need to look at. I don't think there'd be a variance for any other reason than the actual heat press itself.
Yeah, yep.
So we'd have to test it. The best way to test your heat press, again, jump online, jump on our website. You'll find what are called temperature strips. Okay, if you get those temperature strips, put them on the heat press yourself, all right, and press them. When you've pressed those, that'll tell you the exact temperature in that area. So you put one on the left and one on the right, for example, we'll get see if the temperature is the same over both sides of the press and why the result's not working, if it's not working properly. That's a great question, really good question. The best thing you can do for that is, as always, with any help that you need with products, all right, is to email our help@gjs.co.
Yep, send that through to our help team and we'll be able to.
Our support guys will jump straight onto it for you and give you the best advice on how to fix that up.
Yep.
All righty, so we're just going to be finishing up shortly with our gradient frosted beer stein.
Yep.
I dead set want to fill it up with beer as well. But again, great new products. As we've just shown you through, our colour change vinyls, our pre-printed dye sublimation sheets, the TP 100 heat press with 10 elements. Just finishing up now, the frosted beer stein in there. So Frank will pull that out.
Try not to burn my fingers on this one. It's inevitable.
It is inevitable, 200 degrees.
Yep.
Pull it off and there we go.
You'll find your paper will likely stick to the frosted coating a little bit, so you might find it a little bit hard to peel off. But
there we've got a fantastic print in Christmas theme, great for your customers. It'll be something different again as well that you can offer to them than the standard frosted, which is just one colour. All right, these ones have that extra colour already built into them. As I said, we chose the red, but there's other ones that you can be using as well.
So with the frosted beer steins, because it's a frosted coating on the see-through glass, your darker colours will come out better in the dye sublimation process. So because there isn't a white background for them to sit on, unless you, for some reason, fill the beer stein up with a little bit of milk or something, you want to stick to some darker colours and that'll make it look nice and vibrant. Yeah, filling up the glass with milk is something different for Frankie. He usually fills up a saucer. To drink his milk out of it. Or if for Santa, when he comes down the chimney, you can give him a beer stein full of milk and a couple of cookies. I'm sure he'll be very happy with you.
Exactly right, exactly. So that's some of our newer products that we can produce with our mugs. All right, now we're going to change across. Keeping in the dye sublimation theme at the moment, we're going to create a slightly different type. So as I mentioned, the best thing about the TP100 is it comes with 10 different elements. All right, now we're going to do a product now that is generally done or used to be done with a shrink sleeve and done in an oven. All right, because there was no element made to actually suit this style of product, which is our stemless wine glass, which has been a really popular product. Again, you'll find it under the mug section, mug glasses and drink vessels on our website. All right, Frankie's got one right here.
Yep.
I'm just going to pop the top out of it. All right, so as I mentioned, this is usually done in a shrink sleeve. All right, so now we can actually do it with a special element in the TP100 that is specially made for that style of product. All right, so Frankie's going to wrap it around.
Yep. Now this one's using a template that's available on our website. If you've bought this product, you'll see a template available in your profile on the website. So that allows us to cut the paper at the right angle because there's a tapered product so that if you have square paper, it's not.
It doesn't sit right. That's exactly right. So this specialized template actually makes it to suit that curve.
Yeah.
So it comes up perfect on the artwork, on the product itself. Now, the actual image that we're putting onto this one leads me to talk to something else. This time of year, all right, as it is Christmas, all right, and it's a market that's getting bigger and bigger in Australia, all right. It's teachers' gifts, all right. So with teachers gifting, you know, they give to our kids day in, day out at school. There's a lot of people now these days are starting to give the teachers a present or a gift at the end of the year. So that's what we're theming this one on, and a couple of the next products as well. So you'll even notice on Etsy now, there's actually a whole section on Etsy for teachers' gifts. So if it's a market that you're not currently in, you should get into it. I'm going to give you some stats on why you should be getting into it. All right. So in Australia, there's over 4 million students that are enrolled at schools in Australia. And we're just going to plug this one in.
Just press the green button at the side. There we go.
There we go. We just had to turn that on to make sure she was working for you and actually pressing. Which is starting to count down now for us, which is fantastic. A little bit cold, but we'll be right. So, as I mentioned, teachers gifting. There's over 4 million students in Australia. All right. If you can capitalise on just 1% of that market and sell them one product at $25, all right, that's a market opportunity worth more than $1 million. Wow. All right. And as I said, it's getting a lot bigger in Australia now. Okay. People actually giving back to the teachers. They have to put up with their kids all day at school. I know it's a great place to send them when you don't want to have to deal with them. So for those customers of yours out there looking for a teacher's gift, it's great to be able to offer them to them, especially if you offer them all other different types of products. Start to advertise to them that you're actually offering at this time of year some awesome teachers' gifts that you can produce in this manner.
Yep.
And all the other manners that we've spoken about today as well. Now, you do have to be careful on how much you actually spend on the teachers. I know that there's some different amounts that you can give to different states. So make sure that you check and that you only well, it's the good thing about these products is that they are low cost, but you have to make sure that you don't actually give your teachers over a certain amount. Each state is different, so make sure you check with your locals as well to find out what it is. So this one's been in there. It takes actually a little bit shorter time.
Yep.
Frankie?
Yeah, shorter than a normal mug in one of these presses because it's an aluminium product, so it heats up a little bit quicker. This one we're doing for 110 seconds if I had it turned on at the start. Didn't mess that one up.
That's all good. It's all good.
So yeah, ceramic mug, you're usually looking at 180 seconds. So let's see how this
This
one
one might be a little light on, but we'll see how she went.
Yep.
Now, it also gets me, while Frankie's peeling this one, it gets me back to thinking about teachers gifting, and also something else to start thinking about for your customers at this time of year as well. And it is very hot when it comes to this, so don't burn yourself, mate.
Yes.
Is back to school goods. All right. So you can start to be planning this time of year as well, offering your customers back to school items as well. And there we go. A fantastic printed. And it comes with a lid as well, these ones, which are really cool. So you can use it for coffee. You can, even though they are called a stemless wine mug.
It's a bit hot. I don't want to melt the rubber. We'll put it by putting it back
exactly
on.
Right, but they can go back in there as well, so you can use it for coffee too.
Yep.
And as you can see, we've themed this one as a thank you gift for a teacher. Something else that you can be marketing to your customers at the moment as well.
And the good thing about these coming with the lid is that pretty hard to spill, so none will go to waste and it'll all be for you.
All the wine in the world, you beauty. No, well done, great product, that looks fantastic. And again, a really popular product that we offer online on our website. Jump on there, Dice Sublimation products. Under mugs, you'll find the stemless wine mug. So we're going to stick for a little bit now, Frankie, with that teacher's gifting theme.
Yeah.
All right, so as I mentioned, don't forget the back to school market as well. All right, so teachers gifting and back to school, you should be thinking about offering to your customers right now. All right, now we're going to change the platen back, which we have. Well done, Frankie. Yes. We're going to just make a bit more room on the desk here so we can start producing the next product. All right, now this one we're going to actually do something a little bit different. All right, we've done a bit of dye sublimation. We've done some oaky stuff. We've done some DTG and DTF. This time we're going to do some heat transfer vinyl. Now, we've already pre-cut this transfer vinyl. All right. So as you see, this is a pencil case, and you can personalize them for your customers. All right. So we've actually got two different types of vinyl here, two different colors, a silver and a pink. We've cut an outline and an inner. So we're going to press this in two separate presses to get this result. All right. Now Frankie's going to do that now live for us on the heat press. When we turn around, this one's set up for the, now you'll notice how he sets this up. There's one important thing. All right. The zipper on it, we're putting off the side. So that's to make sure that we get a proper pressure or an even pressure across the decoration area, and also to make sure that we don't melt if that's a plastic zipper or a metal zipper, that we don't melt the plastic as well. So just putting a slight cover over it. Again, we're just going to do this for about 15 seconds. Frankie will quickly change that on the DK20S, and we'll press that. So this is, we have a couple of different types of HTV or heat transfer vinyl. This one's our flex range, which is a cold pearl, or a warm to cold or to cool pearl. All right, so once we press this for that 15 seconds, we'll move it, take it out, let it cool slightly. All right, that's the first color that's gone on there. Just have to let it cool down. Frankie will burn himself nicely again, I guarantee you. Lucky he's got Teflon fingers. Yeah, that's very hot.
Very hot.
So once that cools down a little bit, we'll actually peel that first one off. And once we've done that and peeled it off, when it does cool down, we should have a fan over here. Yeah. Frankie?
The other thing you can do is rub it on a cooler surface, and that'll help draw some heat out of it.
Exactly.
So that might help. Sometimes what we do here, we've got a nice cold concrete floor. You can lay them down on a floor if that's the case, or if you've got tiles, that'll suck a lot of heat out of there and possibly speed up your production if you're doing quite a few of them. Yeah,
if you're doing a few of them, that's exactly right. What you can do is do one. Once you've done one, put it to the side, start pressing your second one, your third one, your fourth one, and then come back and peel them all off a little bit later on. So as you see here, Frankie's now peeling it off. All right, and that's our first background layer applied. All right, now we're going back into the press again for the second time. The good thing about the HTV, Frankie, is
that the backing of it is see-through. So you can line things up absolutely perfectly as long as you have the patience. Let's sit that on top, make sure the zipper's off the front.
Now, I usually like to say when it comes to vinyl, if you are putting two layers of vinyl on, only apply it to the actual background layer of the product, of the t-shirt. But that's generally because it's going to be going through the washing machine. With something like a pencil case, unless your teacher spills red wine on it, they're not going to put it through the washing machine. All right, so we can put it just a layer on layer here. All right, and that's not going to affect it at all. And that's the second layer done. Again, we do need to give that time to cool.
Yep.
All right, so we're just going to let that cool down a little bit before we peel that second colour.
Yep.
But as you can see, Mrs. Cook's a lucky teacher.
A lucky teacher. She's got two pencil cases. We've got another question coming through here. So, should the heat press be heated to pressing temperature before putting product in?
Yes,
absolutely.
100%. Yeah, you definitely preset the temperature on the heat press. We're actually pretty lucky with the stemless wine glass pressing correctly after we let that drop down a little bit of temperature before we applied it in there. So yes, definitely preset your temperature on your heat press. We've had these ones both on for a little while now, so they're up to that perfect temperature before you start pressing your products. Every product has a different temperature that you need to apply it for and time. All of those details are always found on the GJS website after you've purchased the product through our help section.
So we're fine to weed this.
Exactly. So Frankie's going to weed that one now.
Up to that, so you can see that there. And that'll all just peel straight off.
And there's Mrs. Cook's second pencil case.
I did two perfect. That's a record for me.
Well done, mate. Well done. No, that is great. And again, an awesome different gift at a low price point as well that you can offer to your customers. All right, and jump into that teacher gifting market as well.
Right, we'll send them out to Miss Cook immediately.
Exactly right. They're on the way to it right now. Okay, so that's the pencil case. Now, there's a couple of other ideas, obviously, for teachers' gifts that we can give to them. For example, there's a tote style bag. Again, we've just used one of those pre-printed dye sublimation sheets that we've cut there. All right, and a heat applied to a tote bag that you could offer to your customers as well for their kids to give to their teachers.
That was made with the same craft press, the scan and cut.
The brother scan and cut machine, exactly right.
So very easy to use. and it comes up really nice. Simple to press as well.
That's right.
A good product.
Yep, and it's a great tote bag for the teachers too. Hang over their shoulder, put all the books and stuff in there. They work really well. Great product. Okay, so the next thing we're going to move on to now, Frankie, is
we've got a dry erase board.
a dry erase board. Fantastic.
Dry erase board. So this is part of our Chromaluxe range. They're printed metals, and they print and press very, very nicely, don't they, Ian?
They do. They sure do. Now, Frankie's going to put this into the once we get the right stuff out. So we're going to put this onto the die sublimation heat press again, the DC16, and heat press the die sublimation. So we printed out the image that we want to put across onto it. We're going to put the Chromaluxe. Well, this one's a dry erase board. It's in that Chromaluxe range, the Chromaluxe and Uni sub range. That's a fantastic range of products. If you've got die sublimation and you haven't tried this product yet, get it, have a look at it, and once you've made one for yourself, you're going to want to offer it to your customers. The finish that they come up with is amazing. All right, so there's a high gloss, very thick polyester coating on this particular message board. All right, that gives you a really depth of image as well because it's so thick. All right, so it's that polymer, so it accepts the die sublimation ink perfectly and gives it a really, really cool look. High gloss, really deep looking image. Now, not only used for things like signage and message boards, you can use this for photographs as well. That's great for photography. So if you're a photographer, you've got die sublimation, you'd be doing photographs already, you understand that. But if you haven't got the die sublimation set up and you like photography, this is a real good way of representing a photo on something totally different. So it's really good for those Santa photos too, Frankie. Yes. Just like that one we took yesterday with you sitting on my lap, mate.
Yeah, we might have to send that.
That'd go great on a piece of Chromaluxe. Exactly, so it works great for photography. Again, it also comes in all different shapes and sizes. So not only rectangle like this one is, all right, it comes with some really cool form cut edged ones as well. All right, so have a look again online, jump online, have a look at our Chromaluxe section, and you'll see those creative border ones on there, which are all different shapes and sizes. So it's just better than having the standard photograph in a photo frame. This is a really cool way to represent a photo and a different way of doing it. And there's a lot of different coatings on there as well, Frankie. So not only the high gloss like this, there's another couple as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you got a semi-gloss and a matte finish on the coating. Why not just get this out?
Yeah, so this one's the gloss, which comes on the dry erase board, and Frankie's going to take it out.
I've got my heat glove on this time.
Yeah. So you don't burn yourself, mate. Fantastic.
Yeah. Hopefully the first time of the day I'll avoid getting burnt.
And this one's Mrs. Sharp's classroom, as you'll see there. And again, that is very hot, ouchy. Right, but you can see the quality of image that comes up on it. It looks awesome. All right, and I tell you, you see a bit of the gloss in it.
Yeah. All
right, but it's really hard to get on camera how good this product really is. Okay, you need to actually get one yourself, try it, and offer it to your customers. All right, one of my favorite products. I've got this stuff up in my bar room everywhere with all images on it. It's a really cool product.
It's going straight to the pool room.
Straight to the pool room, exactly right. And it is a dry erase, so it works with a whiteboard marker as well. As you see, we've got Mrs. Sharp, the classroom. We've got her naughty list here, and the first one that's going on to it is Frank.
Oh, come on.
There we go, naughty Frank. And it does. If you're thinking, no, it won't come off, it actually comes off very easily as well. All right, so it's a really cool gift for your teachers for you to offer to your customers to give to the teachers. All right, as a gift, but it can also be used for other items as well. Say, for example, for your customers for Santa's wish list, for example. So you can give your kids a white marker and write all their requests on there as well. Stick it on your fridge. The good thing about this one as well is it is a metal, so it is magnetic too. So if you get a little bit of paper that you want to stick on there as well, you can use a small magnet and actually hide it on there too, and hold it on there as well. A
little bit later on, Ian, I'm going to write down all the chores that I need you to do on this list.
Okay.
All right. So you make sure you get them done. I want them all ticked off.
When it was on paper last time, I just threw it out. So when it's on this, it's more permanent, isn't it?
So we could do that for all kids' chores if needed.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So again, that's branching into that teacher's gift market, but also moves across into the Christmas theme market too. Or you can use it for any standard list type erase board through the year as well. All right, so that's one of our Chromaluxe products. That's a dry erase board. Now we're going to do another one right now, which this one's a Santa Stop Here sign. All right, so this is on our Unisub exterior metal. So it's an aluminium, all right, and it's actually lasts a lot longer than our internal. Our internal style is archival quality, okay, which lasts 99 years inside. But this one, we're actually putting it outside, is going to last up to 3 years outdoor, which is longer than what the inside stuff does outside. All right, it'll fade a lot quicker outside, but this one doesn't. It'll last a lot longer. So considering it's only be outside for maybe a couple of weeks to a month, all right, it's going to last a fair few years of you putting it out the front. So to make sure that Santa stops at your house or at your customer's kid's house, so they don't miss out on their presents. So again, it's a dye sublimation product, so it's really easy to do. We've printed out. All right, just our image on there. Now, you'll see that we've printed it with a bigger or a bleed. You'll be able to see from the overhead camera that it is bigger than the actual product itself. So we'll get a press and cover the whole total area. Really important thing to do with your artwork, all right, to make sure that we do cover that full area. You don't want any white edges showing up on that. So by printing with that bleed, it makes it definitely cover that whole area, slightly bigger. Now you can use this for a lot of other stuff as well, all right? And yeah, actually really well priced out in the marketplace too. If you have a look at other people offering them, you can offer them for a really good value price to your customers as well. And there's other things too that you can use this stuff for, like QR codes. We have customers that are using them in different settings, okay, with QR codes on them. The things...
You could use them as parking as well. If someone's parking on your lawn, maybe you've got some family coming over for Chrissy or just throughout the year, stakes in the ground for parking, just to make that little personalised touch. Your customer might need it.
On the external, you definitely can, exactly right. So yeah, again, it's one of our Unisub products. We set up for the dye sublimation press here at 200 degrees. We only need to press this for around about...
it's still at 50 seconds.
50 seconds. So yeah, and it'll come up, you'll see when we finish it there, how good it actually presents itself as well when it's finished. So again, jump on our website, have a look at those dye sublimation products, especially under the Chromaluxe. If you haven't tried them, I'll keep harping on it. But trust me, they are a fantastic product. And here, Frankie's just finishing up this one.
Get my glove back on.
Yep. Okay, and there it is. Put his heat-proof glove on there. And there is...
It's a must-have.
Something to make sure that Santa's going to stop at Frankie's place this year.
I'm taking that home. It's going straight in the front yard.
Exactly right. So at least you might get something better than the sack of coal you got last year, mate.
I was a little bit upset about that one.
Yeah, I bet you were too, buddy. You didn't deserve it, mate. But there it is, a fantastic sign.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a question. Another question come through. So it's about the ceramic ornaments. We've actually got some of those behind us.
Yes.
And as we mentioned earlier, you'll get an email later. That email is going to have a link to last year's version as well. Okay, so the last year 2021 version, we did all these, this sort of bauble and ornament as well. So we've got a question about the ornaments and should they be pressed face down with the paper on top? Okay, because they're a slightly curved product, the best way to produce those ornaments, all right, is upside down. All right, so we actually use what's called a Nomex pad underneath Frankie.
Yeah. All
right, so that way we put the paper on the bottom, the ornament on top of those, and push it right down into that soft Nomex. That way it blends around the corners and sublimates up the sides as well. All right, so if we do it like the other way, it's a dead hard surface on top. All right, and we tend not to get a good contact around those curved edges. All right, so if you watch last year's, you'll actually see some of these done. Best to do it on a Nomex sheet with the paper on the bottom and your product on top. That's where you're going to get your best result. Hope that answered that one for you. Now, that was our...
So, if anyone has any questions and you're keeping them to yourselves at the moment for some reason, feel free to pop them through. We're happy to answer them whenever we can. So any questions there, get them through. We'll have a bit of a question and answer towards the end as well that we're ready to go for.
Yeah, so this is the last couple of products that we're going to show you today. All right, we're about to jump into. So yeah, please, if you've got some questions that we're going to answer at the end for you, start them coming through now while we produce these last couple of items for you. So we did a little bit earlier, Frankie, we did some forever transfer media.
Yes.
And we put that onto a shirt, which came up really well.
Yep.
So we can do it onto other types of products as well, can't we, mate?
Absolutely, we can. So the forever media is very, very versatile. You can press it onto basically any hard surface or anything like that. So we're actually running a little bit late on time. So I don't know if we'll have time for the heat press to cool down. This one has to be pressed at 100 degrees because we're going onto wood and paper. If you press it at a higher temperature, it's going to burn. So I've got some of our prints here, along with one that we printed a little bit earlier on the Forever Media. So we'll show that to you now.
Okay, so as Frankie mentioned, we printed these out on the Oki Pro 8 series, 8432W2 with the white toner in it.
Yep.
So you see we've printed out multiple on the sheets. All right, we then cut them out and apply them to the actual product. So these are placeholders, for example, for your Christmas lunch.
Yep.
All right, so Christmas lunch, when you don't want grumpy Uncle Bob sitting next to your fun cousin to bring him down, we can sit him in certain places, all right, and make sure that they're having a great time everywhere. All right, so they come up fantastic. These are a little nice name placeholder that we got from a local, basically $2 shop.
Yeah.
All right, and they're made out of timber, out of wood.
Yep.
All right, and they've come up fantastic using the Forever transfer system, the laser dark. All right, and pressing them onto the product, and they come up great, as you can see there.
Yep. I'm going to keep this one with me for our work Christmas party so that you can't take my seat and steal all my food.
Okay, what are you saying, mate? But yeah, that's definitely a good way to do it, buddy.
Yep.
All right, so that's a placeholder, and that's done onto timber. Okay, so like I said before, we've done it onto a t-shirt, but we've actually put it onto timber using this timber product as well. So another one is, this is again the printout that we printed out. All right, and we put this onto a paper product. All right, so these are a small bag. The bags can be used for a lot of different stuff. Okay, you could use them for a wine carrier, for example. Yeah. All right, but any type of paper bag that you can think of, or that you want to offer to your customers.
Any kids lolly bags or anything like that at either Christmas parties or birthday parties.
Yeah, you can personalize those as well with the Oki Forever transfer system. Yep. So again, all we do is print them out onto the film. Once they're printed out onto the film, we'll press the B paper to them, which applies that backing glue to it. All right, when we have that backing glue applied to it, we can then simply use the heat press to press it onto our product. All right, and they come up fantastic. As you can see there, great gift ideas for to offer to your customers, for them to utilise, that you can sell to them.
So we're just trying to cool down one of the heat presses now. While we do questions, if we've got time at the end and the heat press is cool, then we'll see if we can fit that in there so you guys can see it happen.
What we might talk about while we're waiting is, again, yeah, we're going to send you an email after this live event today. I hope you've got some good ideas that we've presented to you that you can take back and offer your customers. Okay, so these are just some basic ideas. This is a really small portion of what you can produce with the systems that we offer at GJS. So in that email, there's going to be the links to all the different print medias that we've been using, okay, and the products as well. Jump on and have a look at what you could be and think about Christmas themed stuff like t-shirts, like mugs, like I said, one of our most popular products. That really cool color change versions as well. While I have
another sip. Yeah. That's one of my favorite new products.
Nice and cool, and you'll still see that's actually still nice and purple as well.
We've got another question just coming through here, so we'll jump onto that. So could the paper bags be sublimated? So,
okay, paper bags, no. So sublimation works with a polymer or a polyester. That's why we can go into those polyester garments, 100% polyester. All of these dye sublimation products that aren't a fabric have an actual polymer coating on them. Okay, so unless it's a special sublimation paper that has a polyester coating on it, then no, you wouldn't be able to go sublimation directly to a paper bag. All right, that's why you'd be considering using something like the Forever transfer system, all right, which we can actually be able to apply to, you know, porous items like cardboard, like wood, like paper, and like t-shirts and fabrics as well.
That was a good question, so keep them coming. If you've got any more questions there, absolutely, send them through.
Yeah, and like I said, don't forget you're going to get that email at the end. Make sure you go through it all, have a look at our dye sublimation products online. These aren't the only ones we've got. We've got over 500 different products that you can use for dye sublimation. Yep. But like we mentioned as well, also, it's not just dye sublimation. You can use a lot of other different print medias to put it across onto those products as well. Heat transfer vinyl, that's what you're using. If you've got DTG and things like that, you can start using DTF if you're not already. Make sure you get in touch with your local sales engineer if you need to ask questions about that as well. All right, now we're going to go through some special offers, Frankie.
Ooh, special offers.
Exactly right. As we get at Christmas time, we like to give as well. So what we're offering is, as you can see on the screen right now.
Yep. We've got 10,000 bonus GJS points, along with two specials on the SG printers, excuse me. So the SG 500 now from $795 and the SG 1000 from $2,050. Plus a 10,000 point GJS bonus.
That's exactly right. So that's fantastic. Don't miss out on it. If you're after a dot sublimation printer to produce the things that you've seen today, all right, there's a really good special for our customers. So you'll be able to produce some fantastic gifts or offerings to your customers. So another offer that we've got going at the moment as well, okay, is unfortunately with the TP, like Frankie mentioned earlier, the TP 100 has proven to be so popular we can't keep up on stock on it. All right, so at the moment they are on back order. They're waiting to come in. If you are interested in getting one, okay, from what you've seen here and how cool they are, get them on back order now. Don't miss out. I'm sure that even by the time these new ones arrive, that we could be getting close to being sold out as well, Frankie. Yeah, so you'll see on the screen. We
have some new stock coming in December, I believe. So
yeah, exactly right.
We've got some stock coming in. So get your orders in early. You'll get them before Chrissy and be able to get some good mugs out to your customers.
That's right. And if you pre-order them now, pre-order the TP 100 right now, you'll save $200. Use that code that you can see on the screen right now. Okay, so TP, letter number, T22 TP 200. All right, use that code. And you'll get that $200 off. So we've got another special as well, Frankie.
Yeah, so this is all of the Forever products that you've seen demonstrated today. We've got a nice special for them. So save 40% on an Oki Pro machine. So Make the Oki Pro is the cornerstone of the digital decoration business. And we've got that special offer going from today. So offer not available online. So contact your GJS sales engineer for whatever state you're in, and tell them you're interested in getting your Oki printer.
Exactly right. This is only while stocks last. It's a very limited offer. So it's this Forever system that you've been looking at today. If it is something that you're interested in getting quick, because it's definitely limited. Okay, there's only a couple of items that we can actually offer with at this price. So get in touch really quick if this is what you're considering doing. And as I've mentioned earlier, it is the lowest investment point to get into that white printer market.
Yep.
Frankie, to be able to produce dark images onto products, onto dark products, sorry. So yeah, get in early if you want one of these at an unbelievable 40% off. That's just crazy.
It's mental.
It's crazy bargain basement pricing. So you get in touch with your local sales engineer as soon as possible if that's what you want to go with. And our last one, but not least, definitely not least, the DTG shirts that you saw both myself and Frank wearing today were both printed on the Brother DTG printer, which can also double as a DTF. That's what our DTF print was also printed on today. Yep. So we have a really special offer at the moment on those Brother DTG on the GTX 424 Pro bulk machine, which you can see on your screen right now. And again, crazy pricing. Over $7,000 off, Frankie.
That's amazing. Off a printer like that, high production, great quality. Absolutely beautiful.
That's exactly right. The best thing about the Pro machine too is it has the big bulking system on it, so there's massive savings compared to the GTX 423 machine, which is still really cheap anyway. But in comparison, the actual saving on there is fantastic when you go to that bigger bulk machine. And you'll notice here on the screen as well, we've got the finance starting from $219 a week. Okay, so if you're printing as little as 10 shirts a week and making a good profit on them, you can pay that off with just 10 shirts a week.
That's pretty good.
So if you're printing 100 shirts a day, which you can achieve on the GTX machine, then you're making an absolute monster.
I was selling my shirts to you for $50. I'll make that back easy.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, you make it back in almost a week, mate, if you keep selling to me. Exactly right. So the final gift from us to you.
From GJS, a gift from us to you. Use this code on any of your online purchases, 20 Xmas 2022, and that is a $20 gift voucher for use online on our website.
Quickly write it down. No, it will also be coming in the email as well. I was going to tell them to turn it off the screen really quickly.
Yeah.
Because that's another great offer. It's $20. And just to think, say, for example, you can buy 4 mason jars with that. All right, that's for free. You can sell those for $30 each once they're produced, or $25 each. So you're making over $100 for nothing off GJS. Okay, so
Perfect.
remember, as we've gone through, some great new products for you to think about to use in that Christmas spirit. All right. Before we go, is there any more questions that you'd like to put through to us?
We've got one more here. How do you print on candle wax?
Okay, that's really cool. Now you might see that we actually have one of these sitting up the front up here. All right, these were one of the products that we produced in last year's version in the 2021 Christmas Magic Special. So when you receive the email post the show, all right, there will be details on how to get to last year's show, and you'll watch and you'll see exactly how to do that. But it is also using the Oki 8432 white toner printer and printing onto a special water slide transfer. Okay, so it's printed onto that transfer. We then release it into water, becomes very thin, and we can then apply it to the candles as well. All right, so watch last year's show when you receive the link in the email post show, and you'll actually be able to see exactly how that's done, and it's done with the Oki Laser Pro 8 series printer.
Okay, Ian, I think it's time for a beer.
Time to wrap it up, mate. I am very thirsty.
Yeah.
I'm very parched, so we're going to have to go and have a beer. It's great to have you here today. We always say it, we're blessed with the best customers in the industry, so it's great for you to be able to join us today. I hope we gave you some helpful information moving forward into Christmas, into teachers gifting, and into the new school year as well, and some product ideas. We'll definitely see you again soon. We're blessed to have you all, and thanks for being here with us today for today's special edition.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
See you
See
later.
you around. I'm going to go ice my fingertips.
Goodbye.
See you.